Alright guys, here's a very short Valentine's Day edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. Basically what I'm looking at today is the Speed Classic holster for J-frame Smith and Wessons. Now the reason I bought this, I'd been looking for something that was an outside the waistband holster for a little while. I had looked these up online, I watched a bunch of videos here on YouTube before, and I'd seen pretty good reviews on them. They say that they tuck very close to the body and they have very good retention, which they do. Also, the thing that's unique about these, whoops, I don't drop it, have this little piece of very strong elastic on the side of it, and that's what really holds the gun in. So it doesn't really need a thumb brake because it's pretty hard to get it out straight. You have to kind of twist the gun forward and pull it out, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But to get it in, it's always hard to do with one hand. Someday I'll get a good camera. Right now I'm still using my iPhone. There's the gun in the holster. It is virtually impossible to shake this thing out. I mean, it's impossible to get it out when it's in there. So very good retention. Works with a hammer and with the hammerless or the shrouded hammers. So this is a model 37. It would work with the 642, the 638, the 36, basically any one of the snub nose revolvers it's going to work with. And I did safety check this. The bullets are over there. But the complaint I have about this, and the fit and finish and everything on it's great. I was trying to return it to the guy I bought it from on eBay. I think I spent around 38 bucks shipped from a guy in Vermont. I may end up keeping it, but the problem I have with it is where the belt goes through it. Goes kind of through, it's below the trigger guard where effectively the belt goes through it. So I mean, it's really, basically the belt is going to go across it about here, which means the majority of the pistol is above your belt. So when you're carrying this and you're trying to be concealed, not only do you have the thickness of this sticking out from your body, so it's really the thickness of the cylinder plus, 3/16 of an inch on either side of it for the thickness of the leather, but you also have basically that much of the gun, or about that much of the gun above your belt. So for me, I'm about 5'9", I weigh about 180 pounds. Having that much of the gun sticking up above my belt actually prints pretty badly. I was wearing a large sweater yesterday trying to wear this concealed, and I didn't really like how well it concealed, but I didn't really wear it that long. And the problem I have with it is when I reach up and my sweater lifts up, I don't want the bottom end of this thing sticking out below my sweater. Also, when I bend down, the butt of the gun is actually like poking out kind of like this from my body. So it really shows what I may end up doing if the guy takes a return on this is getting a FBI cant outside the waistband holster so that the gun kind of faces forward. That way less of it is actually sticking out from the holster and less of it is exposed under my shirt. Plus it also keeps the majority of the gun basically covered about like that. So, or actually it's this direction. When it's on your belt, basically only the handle sticks out of it when it's an FBI cant holster versus that much of the gun sticking out when it's a standard holster like this. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to return it or not yet. I love the fit and function of it. It works really well. It does exactly what it's supposed to. But in Massachusetts, you have to conceal a gun when you have a concealed carry permit. You cannot have it print, you can't have it show when you bend over. Otherwise, you could get in trouble for brandishing. So, great holster, I love it. I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to use it or keep it. I may end up keeping it anyway and just use it when I go to the range. But if I have any updates, I'll let you guys know. Thanks again. So this is a little addendum to my last comments about the holster. I just spent a little bit of time trying to see if I can make this thing fit better. And basically, what I tried was moving it further back on my belt. So previously I had tried it like 3 o'clock and 3:30. Well, basically I pushed it back to like 5 o'clock, basically in between my center rear belt buckle and the one on the side of my pants, and seems to make quite a bit of difference. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I'm wearing it right now. Fits pretty well. If I bend down though, this is the problem. You can really see the grip of the gun, and then when I stand back up, obviously my shirt doesn't go back down. You can see the bottom of the holster, but having it back here 5 o'clock I think will actually be sufficient. If I wear a sweatshirt or a vest or anything like that, you'll never see that it's there. So I think I'm going to cancel my return on this and actually keep it.